Hi guys, in today's tutorial I will show you how to create automated tests using Cypress. Firstly, we will access this website that I've created so you can shape your automation skills. We click this Forms button, then we click Register. We type valid values on all of these fields and click the Register button. Finally, we will assert that a success message has been displayed. Let's get started. The starting point is represented by a new folder where I initialized npm and installed the Cypress dependency in the exact manner that we learned in the previous tutorial. However, you can find it in the description below. The next step is to run Cypress open command so it can generate the project structure for us. Let's do it. Node modules bin cypress open. So the test runner has been triggered and we noticed that a Cypress folder has been created. Great, it's time to create our own test file. As we agreed, it has to be under integration or under examples. Right click on the examples, new file, and for now let's call it user_actions.spec.js. For a cleaner project, let's delete the other examples. So, as we agreed in the previous tutorial, the test suite sits with the describe function. It accepts two arguments. The first one will be the test suite description, and the second argument will be a callback. We learned that a callback is a concept in JavaScript of passing a function as an argument. The same goes for the test scenarios written as IT functions. So the first argument will be the test description. And the second argument will be also a callback. If we had to compare them with Selenium and Java, we would say that an IT function is the equivalent of a method marked with the test annotation. So the first step is to open up the browser and access the URL. We learned that the built-in functions are accessible via CY. Hence, we have cy.visit. Sorry for that. cy.visit. And we can simply pass the URL as an argument. Please keep in mind that as soon as you save the file, it will be automatically displayed in the test runner. So we can simply choose the browser and click on the file. And that's it. It successfully accessed the application in the browser. Great. Now you will see how easy it is to create automated tests with this framework. One of its features is to automatically generate a locator for us. So currently we have the web page, and the next step is to click this Forms button so we can reach out to the register page. In order to locate it, we can click on the Open Selector Playground, this target icon, and then we can simply hover the desired element. In our case, it will be this forms button. Click on it, and then as you can see, it generated the locator for us, so you can copy it to clipboard and paste it into the test file. Once you save the file, it will automatically re-execute the test for us. This feature in Cypress is called live reload. So as you can see, now it visited the website and got the button. The next step is to click it. So let's go into our test and say, okay, we got the button and we want to click it as well. So we've just added .click function. Save the file and have a look into the scenario. Uncheck this target icon. So by hovering the click step, you will see that it automatically clicked the forms button. The next step is with the same procedure to identify the register button and click it. So open the selector playground, hover register, click on it, then copy to clipboard, go into the test file, paste, save, and have a look into the browser. It got the register button for us, and now we have to add the click action. .click, save, and let's see the result. We have another page loaded, which is the register page. Okay, great, it looks good so far. Now we can simply repeat the procedure for each of these form fields, or if you don't want to use this locator generator provided by Cypress, you can always use your own technique in order to create a CSS selector, an XPath, and so on. Basically, working directly into the browser provides you the opportunity to interact with the DevTools. So you can always right click on the website, click inspect, and locate the element in a traditional way. For example, this input is marked with the first name ID. So you can simply get the ID, go into the test file and type cy.get hashtag first name dot type, because we want to perform a type action and we want to add the first name value into that field. So it will be dot type Razvan. Save the file and let's look into the browser. Great, it got the first name field and added Razvan as a value. We can do the same for the others. So we have a last name ID, we add the phone number as well, mark with the phone ID. And regarding the country, the thing is a bit tricky because it's not just a text field, but it's a select. In Cypress, it's really simple to automate select fields. Firstly, you will have to look into it, and as you can see, every select has its set of options. So for example, let's say that we want to select Romania, for example. So basically in Cypress you can choose a specific option by its text, for example Romania, or by its value, which in our case is Romania as well. So in order to do it, basically you will have to locate the select element, which in our case is countries drop-down menu ID. And instead of type, we will have .select. And in this function, as an argument, we agreed that we can pass a value or the name of the option itself. Save the file and see if it's working. Great! It automatically passed Romania as a value in the country select. Let's move on to the next field. We are continuing with the email address. All good so far, and insert a password as well. And it would be nice to mark this checkbox as well. So firstly, we have to locate it. And I think we could simply click it, but it's more accurate to call the .check function. Great. Now we just have to click the register button. Let's locate it with the feature provided by Cypress. Click on the target icon, over, copy to clipboard, paste it, and add click action. Save the file and see what happens. Great, so far we have a success message, and the only thing left in this scenario is to assert that this success message has been displayed in the page. Let's do that. You wouldn't believe, but making such an assertion in Cypress is really simple. You only have to locate the element, and we can say that I want that this element should contain the following text. So we need to take out the text from this element. Save the file and let's see what happens. Great, the test passed. It made sure that the text is visible on the page. Even though we clicked this checkbox, let's make sure via an assert that it has been indeed marked. We can do that by adding should be checked. Save the file and now you will see one new assertion that has been validated. Easy, right? Now let's create another test scenario by validating the login form. Create another it example. Pass the callback. Visit the website and click the Forms button. Because in order to reach the login page, we have to click the Forms element. So the next step would be clicking the login button. Okay, so we have already in place the visit step and getting the element and clicking it. Let's save the file and look into the browser. With each save of the file, it will always execute all the test scenarios within the test suite. Let's look into the login scenario. Okay, so we have the visit step, getting the element, clicking it, and the next step is to locate the login button and click it. Over the element, click on it. Cypress generated the locator, copy and paste it into the test file, and add the click action. Save the file, look into the browser. So we got the login form page. The next step is to enter an email, and I provided valid credentials in here. So in order to get a positive login authentication, we will have to use exactly these credentials. So locate the email field in the old-fashioned way, just for practice purpose. Add a new step, .type, and insert the admin around admin.com value, and the password will be admin123. The same goes for the password. Now we want to click the submit button. And the last step is to validate that the success message has been displayed. But we already know how to do it, right? Simply locate the message element, should contain the following text. Save the file and let's see what happens. Great, the second scenario passed as well. One more thing, let's have a quick look into the test file. and try to spot some things that might be optimized. For example, if we look into each of these two test scenarios, we will notice that these two steps are duplicated. So we can simply take them out from each of these scenarios and put them into a for each function, which is basically a hook that will be executed before each test scenario. This function receives also a callback. Save the file and check the execution to make sure that we didn't break anything. It looks good so far, both scenarios passed, and if we have a look into each of them, we will notice that the hook is displayed in the left side of the screen. Before each, that contains the visit step and getting the forms button and clicking it. The same goes for the login scenario as well. Great, good stuff. In order to get in shape with this kind of assertions, I really encourage you to read in depth the Cypress documentation. So you can simply search on Google Cypress doc, and in here you will have lots of interesting information. And if you want to pay attention to the assertions, you can say Cypress docs should and simply click this link that will redirect you to this page that contains lots of details regarding syntax, usage, and some other cool stuff.